Hello everyone, I'm Paul and this is problem 1727, largest submatrix with rearrangements. This is a medium problem that's very visual, so next I will show you how to solve this visually and then we will go with the code. We are given a binary matrix, meaning a matrix with only ones and zeros. If we are given this input, here is the visual representation of the matrix. And we are allowed to rearrange the columns in any order. Now, our job is to return the area of the largest submatrix where every element is a 1 after reordering the columns optimally. So if we're given this, we can swap these two columns. And after this operation, we get this matrix, where the largest area is given by this submatrix. Here the area is side times side, meaning 2 times 2, so the result is 2. And there are more valid submatrices here. For example, this is valid, this is also valid, and this is also valid. But the submatrix with the largest area with only ones is this one. That's why the result is 4. Now, for example, this is not a valid submatrix because submatrices are either squares or rectangles. My first intuition was to count the number of ones in every column. So here we have 2, here we have 1, 1, and here we have 3 ones. And then we can sort this. After sorting, we get 3, 2, 1. We are sorting this in reverse. And this corresponds to this matrix now. This is column number 0, this is column 1, and this is column 2. So now this is in order. This means that we can say that the result is initially 0, and maybe you are thinking about iterating every column starting from number 0. And we need to take the area of this submatrix. How can we do this? Well, we know how many ones do we have here, meaning we know what's the height of this submatrix. It's 3. And how do we get the width? Well, we can take the current index 0 plus 1. 0 plus 1 is 1 times 3 is 3. So the result right now is the maximum between 0 and 3, meaning 3. Now we are here and this is in decreasing order. This means that we know that in the previous columns we have 2 or more ones. Okay, in this case we have 3. This means that maybe you are thinking about taking the current amount of ones, that's how we get the height, and for the width we take the current index plus 1 again. So the height is 2, the index is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, times 2 is 4. The maximum between 3 and 4 is 4, so the new result is 4, which corresponds to the area of this submatrix. Now we are here and the count is 1, meaning the height here is 1. And the width is 2 plus 1, meaning 3. So we are looking at this submatrix. The result is the maximum between 1 times 3, meaning 3 and 4. So this stays at 4. In this case, this happens to be right because the result is 4. But we have a problem here. What if we are given something like this? If we do the same, in this column we have 2 ones, here we have 1, 1, and here we have 1, 1. After sorting we get the same. So if we do what we did before, we can say that the result is initially 0. Now the count is 2 times the current index plus 1. The area of this is 2 and the maximum between 2 and what we have in the result is 2. So this is now 2. Next, we are here. The count is 1. So we take the height, which is given by the count 1 times the current index plus 1. 1 times 2 is 2, and the maximum between 2 and 2 is 2. So we keep 2 in the result, and now we are looking at this submatrix. Now we can continue with column number 2. The problem is that here the count is 1. So if we do what we did before, we take the height 1, and the width is given by the current index plus 1, so this would be 3 technically. 2 plus 1 is 3 times 1 is 3, so the result would be 3. But as you can see here, this is wrong because this is not a valid submatrix. Here we have a 0. So we are missing something here. We are almost there, but we are missing something very important. And the key here is the following. Instead of considering the total counts after iterating every row in the matrix, we can go row by row, we go level by level. So first we are here and we don't know what's next. Okay, we only know that we are standing here and this is row number 0. So now we can do what we did before. We count the number of ones, and here we have 1, here we have 0, and here we have 1. Now we can sort this in reverse order and we get 1, 1, 0, which corresponds to a grid with 1, 1, 0. Okay? Now we can iterate this from left to right. So first we are here. The height is given by 1 and the index is given by the current index plus 1. 0 plus 1 is 1 times the height, we have 1. So the result up to this moment is the maximum between 0 and 1. This is 1. Next we are here at column number 1. So we take the current count, this is the height, times the current index plus 1. 2 times 1 is 2. This corresponds to this submatrix, so the result is now 2. Finally, here at column 2, the count is 0, and 0 times anything is 0, so the result stays at 2. And now we can add the next row. Now we can add the corresponding ones in this row to the accumulated numbers. We are keeping track of this with an array, so first we are at this index, meaning at column number 0. Given that this is a 1, we add a 1 here and this is 2. Next here we have another 1. And 1 plus 0 is 1. And here we have a 0. Whenever we find a 0, the accumulated number is 0 again. This is very important and this is the key for the algorithm actually. So why do we need to reset this back to 0 whenever we find a 0? Well, because if we don't, if we use a 1 here, this means that we are looking at this grid which is wrong. This is not our grid. So if we want to preserve this order, we need to use a 0 whenever we find a 0. Another way to think about this is the following. Every time we are considering the base of the current row as the current ground. And from here we are keeping track of the maximum height that we can get from each column. So let's say that we are building a tower here. The maximum height that we can get is 2. Okay, these 2. The maximum height here is 1, and the maximum height from here is 0 because we don't have anything in the ground. So now with this information we can do what we did before. We sort this and we get 2, 1, 0. So next we can iterate every column and do the current height times the current index plus 1. 2 times 0 plus 1 is 2, so we're looking at this submatrix and the maximum between 2 and 2 is 2. Next we are here and 1 times 1 plus 1 is 2, meaning the area of this submatrix is 2. The maximum between 2 and 2 is 2. And next here we do 0 times 2 plus 1, meaning 3, and 0 times anything is 0. So the result in this case is 2. Time complexity here is big O of n times m log m. This is because we have to iterate every cell in the matrix, and this is because we have to build and sort this array. Sorting requires n log n in Python, and here we are sorting every row, and every row has a size of the amount of columns, meaning m. And here space complexity is big O of m because we have to build and sort this array. Remember that sorting requires big O of n in Python, in this case m. So with this in mind, now let's see how to code this up. First, n is the length of matrix, m is the length of matrix at row 0, and we are keeping track of the accumulated numbers. This is an array with 0 times the amount of columns. The result is 0 initially, and we can iterate every cell. So for I in range n, for j in range m, we say if the current number matrix ij is equal to 1, this is lowercase, we can say accumulated at the current column plus equal 1. Else, this means that the current number is a 0, so we reset accumulated at the current column back to 0. And after this loop, we can build a new array, and we are building this from the accumulated numbers, and we have to sort this in decreasing order. So here we use sorted from accumulated, and we use reverse equals true. And now we can say for every column index in range, and here we take the length of s, we say that the result is the maximum between what we have in the result and the current area, which is given by the height, meaning s at the column index, times the width, which is the column index plus 1. And finally, we can return result. So this is the entire code. Now let's submit this. As you can see, this works and it's very efficient. And you could make this even more efficient. For example, you could replace this array for accumulating numbers by transforming this matrix directly. But I think that this is enough for the problem, and as you can see, this is efficient enough. So if you found this useful, please drop a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.